May I first of all immediately say that I haven't the time, except in 5 minutes, to reply to the comments just made now by Deputy Fahy. I think it tells its own story that when Deputy Quinn, my colleague, was Minister for Finance, between 1995 and 2000, you had sustained economic growth supported by an export performance. Between 2000 and 2005, you had a growth rate that was sustained by the wildest forms of property speculation. And really, I should say to you, sir, if Deputy Fahy wants to discuss it at any time, I think he will find among the mad property speculation that drove the economy, or the multi-million people, millionaires who in fact benefited from pension transfers, he will find it in the 5 budgets that were just immediately given by his colleagues in the Fianna Fáil party. But I have only 5 minutes and I want to make just a few points. For a start, Deputy Fahy will around a neighbouring constituency of Athenry. Students called last weekend and delivered me 500 letters from one school alone. A school, interestingly, that in relation to that school, that has never expelled a student, it has never suspended a student, and it has actually produced the first traveller who will emerge from Mary Immaculate in just a very short period of time. In that school, the grant for travellers' education has been cut. Now, let's get real about what is happening. If Deputy Fahy, for example, decided to go down to the Claddagh school, where you have 6 teachers dealing with language difficulties, in that case he would find, for example, that the cut to 2 teachers will be catastrophic, not just for those who are coming in, but for students at all levels. And also for those students who sit beside students who have language difficulties in relation to the English language, it will be just a disaster. He needn't believe me. He can talk to the teachers, he can talk to the principal. If, when Deputy O'Keefe takes time from his rambling leishgale breakup that he comes on radio and he might like to go out to Skull Colosh the Creewira in Spidgel, and where a parent wrote to me this morning, she said, "Tá firim niaram fuina rodi shilianas, and made us a quivna said the montori stal tiranga, Kyle gun skull montor one. Kyle for montorelia the varantaring sheer our status for me buntoshta. Tana jonta shilianas imi, Tios, physic, chemic, kjol, idrvlin, schemisic de Laura, and then Lannan Sherai. To translate in another point, to say it very, very clearly as well, I find it extraordinary that the Green Party can speak about innovation, for example, at the same time as they destroy creativity in the curriculum. With all the money gone for the materials for physics and chemistry, for home economics, for everything to do with school orchestras, for music, for art teaching and so forth. That is the curriculum policy of Philistines. But of course it was always the case that if you speak of innovation, as a very thoughtful member of this House, Minister Eamon Ryan, speaks about, he is talking about an innovation and a sustainability that comes out of individualism in the society. That form of connection between economy and society is over. What courageous people are talking about is new forms of social economy and a kind of creativity that will give you several different kinds of economic opportunity. And they have to realise at this side of the House as to what has failed. The old model of unregulated markets internationally has failed, but in addition to that, their own wild speculative incentives driving individualist accumulation of profit is gone as well. For example, in relation to Deputy Fahy's other rights, where would the money have come from? Why confine yourself to €200 for the second or third house? Why not make it a geometric progression? And he would know all about it in relation to what one would in fact gain from that. I think that in relation to what is happening, those people who have come to me, parents and teachers in schools of management from St Paul's in Oranmore, Calasanctus, in St Paul's in Uachtarard or Calasanctus, Oranmore, there's a long list of them. I haven't the time to waste on it. But I really want to say this. How can you, if people wanted to take out the Irish Independent, for example, John Walsh, a distinguished graduate of NUIG, on the 25th of October, he has the list there as to what happens in 3 schools in 3 different parts of the country. In the case of a disadvantaged school in Dublin, the net loss after you have abandoned, what has been abandoned, I finish on this. What has been abandoned: special subjects, transition year, the Leaving Cert applied, Junior Cert, Home Economics, the Traveller Grant, special provision for physics and chemistry. What all this isn't Republican, and this isn't about citizenship, and it's not about sustainability. It's a slash and burn, ignorant, savage set of cuts that impact on children that are not responsible for the wild, crazy economics that Deputy Fahy and his party are responsible for. They should be ashamed. These are disgraceful cuts. And the Minister can flap all he likes and read his letter from Deputy Gogarty in China, Dear Bat in China. I'll tell you, let's hope parents, teachers and children give you the answer you need.
Right, Deputy Lynch.